Hey guys, how's it going?
How's it going? Yeah.
Good, good, good. How's everybody feeling?
Good.
Good? Hey Marvin, how's it going, man?
Good, how you doing?
Looking good, looking buff.
I'm trying to gain weight now. But I did a
Trying
good
to get
goal.
bigger or what?
Yeah, well, I lost a lot of weight because I got sick last month, right? I didn't realize how
Yeah,
much weight I lost until I stepped on a scale and I was disappointed. So back
don't
on
you
the
like
gain
the
train.
shredded look though?
What's that?
Don't you like the shredded look when you like
No,
cut?
yeah, sort of to a certain extent, but like I like I like more size. Like my clothes are fitting kind of loose, and I wasn't feeling like how they felt. You
I'm
know?
getting rid of a garbage bag full of clothes because I used to be buff, like I used to be big, and now
Yeah,
I feel like I'm getting rid of all my hoodies, all my shirts, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I used to fill those out. Now I'm like filling out a medium. I used to fill out a large.
that's
So
good though,
yeah,
right?
no, I know the feeling. It's like, yeah. I mean, it's all good though. I'm gonna get new clothes.
Yeah,
My clothes are old, anyways. What about
I
you,
like my clothes. I
Michael?
don't
How
have
you
to
doing?
get all new clothes.
Yeah, how you doing, Michael?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Any highlights of your day or your past 2 days? I know you sent me a message. I'd like you to share that here. Like how things are going based off our last conversation, our one-on-one session. If you want to talk about what happened and that, and then what you're going through now and kind of that transition.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm sure everyone kind of feels the same way sometimes when you get, stressed out with certain things, you tend to
I
kind
see
of go
you.
backwards tend to kind of go backwards in the way, you think. So when I had my discussion with Malcolm, we kind of got right back on the right track. And what was really stressing me out this week was just kind of the overload of work emails that I was getting. And I felt like every email I sent out, I would get 10 more back. So I really just kind of went at my own pace. Malcolm made a really good statement. I think even on our last group session on, um, regarding how we're kind of the makers of our own stress. So I kind of kept that throughout my mind that, stress really doesn't exist. We kind of create it ourselves. So I ended up just really, going through the work week with that in mind, just answering what I could. And I found that all of the answers that I was looking for within my, my day-to-day tasks were actually coming to me via email. One great example was actually this morning. About 10 emails came to me that I was really waiting for, which was pretty nice. But we were working on a big contract, and I had my assistant looking for something for me, and we both couldn't kind of figure out what to do next. And all of a sudden, I get an email from the client we're working for with the form that we needed. So it worked out. It was really perfect. Couldn't really ask for better timing on that to happen. So it was really nice to see that.
What did you do to regulate your emotions? Like, how did you go from last week feeling, or a couple days ago, feeling the stress, like projecting the emails in advance and worrying, and then attracting your engine light or like problems occurring
Right.
to projecting and manifesting something different with the emails and accomplishing. Like, how does that happen? What did you do with your emotions? Like, how simple was it?
It was actually very simple. We tend to kind of create all of the stress in our life to the point where we can't think. So what I ended up doing was really just listening to what Malcolm was saying, and I was really like, these emails are not gonna like kill me. These, just get through what I can one step at a time. And I didn't allow those stressors to interfere with my subconscious. I became very consciously aware, is what we were talking about, of
I was gonna say,
everything
good
that
boy.
was going.
It's your inner child. Good
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Yeah, a very thing. That's really what it was. It was becoming really consciously aware of what I had control over and what I didn't have control over. So once I let go of what I didn't have control over,
Yeah.
all of that stuff ended up coming to me through the emails, and all those answers from the week ended up coming to me, and then ended up becoming a very productive week for me, in getting things done. So it was really nice to figure that out. And it is very simple to do.
Told
So
you. And you were feeling
I
so
think
much stress and anxiety. You wanted to fuck off. Like, to tell you the truth, you're like, Malcolm, I need to go at my own pace. I don't know if I can make it another week. You were almost self-sabotaging yourself. And now you realize over
yeah,
this hump, you can't do that. You can't afford to go backwards, because going backwards is only
right,
going to fuck you up. It's only going to
right.
slow you down even more. Right? Are you realizing that? Like, are you aware
Oh, absolutely.
of that now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, cool. I can
And
see it.
it's really because you gave us that it really, I don't think I really understood at the time what it meant to be consciously aware, and and how that interacts with your subconscious.
Yeah.
So when these things would start happening, I really had to take a step back. Like, I had to really take a step back,
Yeah.
and really look at what is going on. What do I have control over? What don't I have control over? And those things that you don't have control over, you just don't allow it to interfere with your mind, and you just go about your day with the things you have control over. That's when I really started kind of the positive flow started really,
Proud of you, man.
entering life, which is I think it's really interesting to see how fast that stuff's work. That's,
Yeah.
that mindset works when you really just kind of let things go, because you also start to realize, wow, if I just don't allow the things that I have control over to interfere with my life,
Yeah.
that's like 90% of the stuff that is interfering with your life is the stuff you're just simply worrying about that you can't control.
Yeah. And
So
the universe, it wants to transform your life in real time and quantum jump you, but you got to do the hard work of understanding your emotions, understanding your feelings, your thoughts, like sitting in the pain and suffering. I know I'm using those words, but in your guys' words, it would be you getting email, stress. For Marvin, it's completely different. It's like finances and feeling enough, or right now, present, content, not needing or longing for something. And for Anna, it's completely different, right? It's like she has her work, she has family, she has also that being content in the loneliness and stuff like that, and visions and stuff. So that's your guys' pain and suffering. And if you guys can conquer your individual pain and suffering by going in it and transforming it, like today, I'll give you an example. I purposely, I don't know if it was intentional, but I was crying today. I was crying for like a good hour and a half, just sitting here listening to Dr. Wayne Dyer. And I was like crying tears of love and gratitude of how great the world can transform for me, for my clients, for my family, for everyone, my kids, my ex. And I'm like, detaching and releasing and surrendering. And then I'm calling the car dealership where I'm leaving my car tomorrow. And I totally forgot, 2 weeks went by. I didn't ask for an oil change. They threw it in for free. And I'm also building a relationship with my sister that we haven't had in the past 20 years, also happening for me. So in my pain and suffering, the universe is throwing good transformations right now, right? So like what you did, that transformation happened in a split second, like in an instant, right? The email started to transform. Imagine if you keep doing this, what else is next? Like, practice today, maybe crying, joy, tears of joy. Just embrace love and harmony of what you're going through. Just do it. And that's going to be something else will open up, and the universe is just going to give you another surprise. You might get a phone call, or some other project might open up for you. You don't even know until you start practicing transformation on purpose. You got to live on purpose in the unknown. Like, I didn't know why I was crying today. Oh, I figured it out. I got an oil change for free. My sister reached out to me and she wants to work on our relationship. Just in a matter of an hour. Right? And then Anna,
Yeah.
like, you had something cool that you wanted to share too. You have a few things of what you're going
Yeah.
through. And then based off our last, we did a meditation, just a quick one, a quick realization I did for you to visualize letting go of your of circumstances that you had as an inner child, like a little girl not being heard, seen, or felt by your mom, rejecting you, not listening to you, not hearing you, and the freedom of detachment. And there's much more. So you just share yours.
Yeah. I mean, definitely like feeling a lot of the sitting in the emotions, like at the beginning of the week. It feels like a month happened in a week. But feeling all of those emotions and being really aware of where my knee-jerk reactions are, because it's like, oh, okay, no, don't just like ignore it, don't like externalize it or get rid of it, like really feel it. And then it's like, you know what, I need to like live every single dream that I've ever had that's not finished. I have to like tie up all the loose ends. So I went to a ballroom studio and I'm like, that's it, I'm gonna compete again and like see how far it takes me, because I used to
the
compete.
chance. Now you're in ballroom, right? Now you're doing that.
So yeah, so we're gonna be doing that because I didn't finish when I had moved for dance. I didn't finish, whatever. So I'm finishing it now. So that feels like it unlocked something, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I can breathe on this whole different level. It feels different in my physical body. And then all of a sudden it's like I had a colleague last year had invited me to come teach at the college that he works at, to teach massage. So I got like almost immediately after the ballroom, it was like, I get this email that says, okay, you're actually hired. Here's your onboarding information. So that job is like official, which is amazing. So that's like, just like new stuff out there. And then just like revelations with my family, like where we project outside of ourselves. And it's like really healing ourselves, and where are we withholding love from ourselves and love from other people, thinking that it's still them. And it's like, okay, it's not that.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And then something super amazing, it almost makes me cry a little bit. So with Malcolm's thing, just like so much gratitude, it feels like life and energy is moving just really, really, really fast. So I grew up in Oregon and now I live in Florida. There is a whale in Miami that's been there for like 50 years. And they're actually going to send the whale back to Puget Sound. And her mother is still alive because they stole her from her mom. Damn. And it's been really like, it's really tragic. It's amazing she's still alive.
Yeah.
But it feels very symbolic of like, things are like freeing up, seeing the truth, going back home, like to who you really are. Like,
yeah,
it just all seems like going home to yourself. Like
universe, we're all one.
Yeah.
It's like everything's happening for a reason. I think that's beautiful and great. And then what else?
And it just feels like, I don't know, like little pieces of life from the past. It's like, it feels like it's all coming together for this moment right now. It's like, I completely understand why I'm here right now doing what I'm doing.
Remember when we first met, you were holding on to things, emotions about your mom, and then your family. Yeah. And then now look, I'm coaching your family. Like all three of them, the son, mom, and dad. And then, the daughter's also jumping in, like, and that's off of you now. It's released. But what did you have to do? You had to trust and surrender and detach. Now you can let go of certain things in your life. But that's beautiful. And then Marvin has, like, he had an amazing week. Last week was so exciting. And like, I felt the energy. Like, this guy was off his rails. Like, okay, share yours, like Marvin, from last week, and then what happened, and what, like, you were feeling down, and then after our call, our one-on-one, what happened, and then I haven't heard from you. So how have you been keeping up with that? And have you had your down moment and then brought yourself up? Like, I don't even know. I haven't heard from you. You've been busy. So why don't you share your whole week?
Okay, I guess like on the last group session we had, I had like almost like an epiphany of how I've been like just toxically positive, like for the last so many years, just like not letting negativity in. And working with Malcolm is like actually just like he's kind of told me like to embrace that side of the negative aspect of life and be okay with it and dwell in it, and just like because you can still manifest from it. And I've, you know, like I was like had epiphanies like, well, I was like, well, I have manifested in like some pretty dark times in my life. So like just being able to like feel it and be okay with it was like a huge thing for me, and not necessarily have to be like super positive and try to like as soon as like a negative thought crosses my mind to just like almost like swat it away, to be like, oh, like no, I'm not letting that thought cross my mind, but more or less just like listen to it, hear it, be aware of it, and acknowledge it, and just allow it to like, you know, to do what it needs to do, and then just move on from it, kind of thing. So that was super just like a super interesting moment for me, where I was like, this is great. Like I just feel like I've just been so positive, and even in just my relationships before, how I've just been like like almost like so toxically positive, where I was like, why are you like going through all this depression and going through all these negative moments, where like, you know, just pick yourself up and move
With your
forward, kind of thing.
partners,
And
right? For example, like you
yeah,
were telling that to your partner, you weren't meeting them where they were at, you know?
right.
Yeah.
Right. I think for me, I was just always trying to be like, why would you sit in the negative moment when you can just like, you can choose how you feel. Like you can choose to be positive. You can choose to focus on things you're grateful for, rather than focusing on when all these negative things that are happening in your life. So, and I think like for me, that probably like negatively impacted my relationships, where they probably didn't feel heard, where they didn't feel acknowledged. It was always like, yeah, okay, you can sit here and be positive about everything, but like, that's not how I feel right now. Where I was like, you know, like I've totally done that in my like past relationships, where I've just always been like that toxically positive person, and not allowed myself to
Be
feel any
present.
negativity and be present, right? And like just not like allowing them to feel heard or acknowledged and have any sort of empathy towards it, because I would always be like, why you got to be like that? Just, you know, think of things to grateful
Yeah.
for.
Yeah.
So like yeah, like so now I'm just so much more aware of that. So I mean, moving forward, if like that does come up, I'll be sure to just basically be in the moment and make someone feel heard, and not necessarily be like that toxically positive person over and over again, where
It
like,
comes back to being the voice and the ears and the eyes for yourself. If you can practice that, now it becomes easier to do it for someone else. So that's why your reflection is what you have to do for someone else, but that's what we're practicing right now. We're practicing it for ourselves,
right.
right?
So
And then
then like, I mean, I guess throughout the week, like so like a I bought an investment property to flip like probably earlier last year, but I just took possession of it in February. And my whole entire thing was either I'm going to rent it or I'm going to sell it, depending on how the market kind of goes. And with today's interest rates, it just made more sense to sell it. So I sold it, and with the intention of basically staying where I'm at right now, because I'm staying in a rental. And originally, like 2 months ago, my landlord told me that she was not planning on selling this place. She's planning on keeping me in it. She's not going to raise the rent. So I was like, all right, cool. So it's all like covered. I'm good here. And then I literally get a call on like Tuesday morning, and my landlord's like, "Oh, we're planning on selling the place." So she's like, "So you're gonna need to be out within 3 months." So she's like, "Here's your 90 days notice, essentially." And so like I was like, okay, like I mean, I try to be like more positive about it, but you know, I kind of like allowed myself to kind of like think of the negative things. And I was like, you know what though, like this is happening for me, and there's a reason why this is happening for me rather than happening to me. And I've just been kind of slowly just making moves towards this. So I talked to my mortgage broker, and I was like, hey, we're gonna need to find another place. Like, let me know what I'm approved for now. Like, and then talked to my realtor, and I was like, hey, like, can you line up a few viewings and such? So I got a couple of viewings lined up today. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure it all out and just be more or less just trusting in the universe that everything's gonna be okay. Everything's going to work out, and everything's going to work out for a reason, like how the way it's supposed to. And yeah, that's where I'm at this week, at least.
that's beautiful. Be in the present with a knowing and trust. Let go of the outcome, let go of the expectation, because you already know it. So you have to kind of know it and also be in the unknown. So you have to play with these vibrations and these emotions and feelings, but not go too much of unknown and too much of expectation. Kind of bring yourself back to the present moment and practice that flow of energy. Let it stay there. So then the universe already trusts and knows, right, what it needs to do for you. But if you start putting too much energy into expectation, then it's not going to play out the way you expect. But if you go too much into vulnerability and, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? That's also too much. So you have to bring both together and kind of just flow and be okay with everything and trust and know, while you know the feelings are real. It's real. You can't sugarcoat it. You can't cover it up, right? So it's a constant practice of awareness, and you guys are doing fucking great. Now, how's the high? Like, I mean, you were really high last week, not drugs or anything, but like high from our call. You know, so I know when we get high all of a sudden, and that high dies down and goes away and it kind of dies off, how do you guys cope with that? How do you guys deal with that? I want to know individually. Like, I know with Michael, for example, you get highs and then you go into your lows. Now you have to pay attention, pay mind to the balance with the outcome and the results. So it's playing with that knowing and that trust. So what are you going to do consciously now, knowing that the positivity dies? What are you going to do going forward?
You talking to me or Michael?
Michael.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't sure you were talking to. Yeah, no, going forward, it's really the mindfulness. It's when you start to get to those lows, it's really me starting to be like, okay, let's not go backwards. Let's, practice what we can change now and what we can keep the same right now. What do we have to do right now? What I've done in the past, right, is your mind just starts going all over the place. It's like, and that leads to kind of things like procrastination, and you start to go through all these bad habits.
Right.
But now it's really, okay, let's take one thing at a time. When you go to the low, it's blocking out all the noise and really just taking one step, one thing at a time. That's really how I've been able to get over the low. It's really practicing a lot of the mindfulness and being really consciously aware. That's what I'm working with, which is really, really helpful.
Okay. And then Anna, what do you do?
I think I really have just been focusing on like, keep moving. It's like allowing yourself to be like, okay, well, this is how I'm feeling, but I'm still going to live my life. And just, it's not going to define my day of how I'm feeling. It's like, I can still be really good with clients and work at a really high level, even if, you're feeling negativity or whatever. And just reminding myself, like, life is like a really beautiful piece of classical music. It's not all high and crazy. Like if there's a crescendo area, it's very infrequent because it makes it more special. It's like you have to ride that whole wave. That's what makes it beautiful. So it's like, instead of looking at these emotions, it's like, okay, this is bad, this is good. It's like, okay, I'm just feeling this feeling and it's going to pass and it's going to transition into something else. So I think also being less judgmental of it.
Right.
And just experiencing it more.
Okay. And then Marvin, what do you do when the high went down and a few days went by and other things show up? How do you navigate?
I think I'm more aware and conscious of my thoughts, and like how, like, there's nothing really like positive or negative. It's just how you respond to it or what your thoughts are on it, if it's negative or positive, and how you interpret it.
Yeah.
So like I could have totally interpreted me having to move from this place as a negative thing. But instead I was like, no, this is a positive thing. There's a reason why I'm moving. Something better is coming for me. So just being like more aware of my thoughts, being more aware of how I interpret things, and just trusting in the universe and that like everything's going to work out in my favor.
Absolutely. I'm so proud of each and every one of you. at the last second in life, sometimes at the last moment, at that pinnacle, it's like we have to go through that unknowing and all the feelings and emotions right to that point. And if we stick to the last point, the bliss and the joy and the outcome comes to us. We start to receive, like, we're flowing in this wave. Like right now, for example, I have this roommate here and I'm on a call and they don't, I don't know what their thoughts and their feelings are about understanding what I'm doing, but I can hear like the music go on or the fan go on, and it's annoying. I'm sure, Anna, you've seen it before, right?
Yeah.
And like, for example, right now the fan went on. That's small, right? But for example, I'm moving right now, my car needs this, something comes up with a client, another client, I have, kind of ghosts me, like some things like that happen, right? The question should be, what do you do in those moments, Malcolm? How do you, so without you guys asking me, I'll tell you, it's like, I take that feeling hits us right here. Like we get that feeling, like emotion. It's a ball of emotion. And then we want to react. But then what you do is when the wave comes, you're at a swimming pool, you're at a recreational center, and the wave comes and you react, but you kind of go with the flow. You ride that wave, right? So right now I'm riding that wave, and I'm just riding that wave, and we're all trusting, we're all knowing, and we know the direction. That's the direction we want to go, even though the wave is fucking keeping us stuck, right? And taking us, we don't want to go back, right? So that's the feeling. It's like, oh, I gotta get over that wave. But no, relax in that wave, surrender in that wave. And when the wave goes away, man, who knows what island you showed up at? A beautiful island. There's a coconut tree there, and it's a beautiful beach, and it's just amazing. Men and girls in bikinis, and it's just awesome. You know what I mean? So we just gotta trust, sit in the emotion and the waves right now, and then the outcome. That's the test. Is how, did you trust that was going to be the outcome? Do you trust in the outcome? Do you trust in the outcome? Or do you trust more in the emotions and feelings and the wave you're going through? You got to release what you trust in and just know. Just know. Because sometimes the trust can get confused, right? We can get so much confusion in the trust. So just let go.
And then we try to control it.
Yeah. So let go of the trust. Let go of the trust and be in the vulnerability, be in the unknown, be in the vulnerability. And then there's no more, you just know. Because that trust can break your heart. That trust, we don't need trust. We need knowing. That trust and that belief and, oh, is going to come. I want to trust so much in God. I want to trust so much in the universe. But, oh, I got a phone call. Landlord says I got to fucking move. Oh, I got all these emails, and now my brain and my subconscious mind tell me I got to panic. Oh, my family's like this. My mom doesn't want to give me gratitude and appreciation, and it must be me. And that's why I'm going through life this way. That's trust. You guys are trying to trust so hard. Right? We got to let go of that trust sometimes.
I resonate a lot with that over what I was telling you, and I can share the story about the engine light.
Yeah.
Yeah. So both of you, all three of you know what, I work a lot, and my only escape is really like going on long drives and driving. So my cars mean a lot to me. Pretty sentimental. I have a 10-year-old Ford Mustang, 2014, right? And I've had that for 10 years. And it means a lot to me. But over the weekend, its engine light came on for the first time, 9 years and 10 months, almost to the day. So it was such a bummer, right? And I'm not going to lie, I got kind of emotional because it actually is an issue with the engine. So what I took it, and after talking to Malcolm, it's so interesting because that's my escape, right? Every time I'm feeling down or, work gets in the way, it's like, let's go on a drive. And now we can't do that. So now I have to face, I took it kind of like a universe giving you a sign almost, right? Like now you can't escape. You got to face your issue on you can't escape. You got to face what you're working on. So I turned it around positively. It's expected, right? Number one, I wasn't on the road driving when that happened, so I'm safe. It's expected, right? It's an old car, and we don't have to get rid of it. We can always rebuild the heart of it, right? We can rebuild the engine. We can make it stronger, more powerful, and that's what I'm looking at this opportunity as, right? Yeah, so it's there's so many things that come at you at life that make you hit like, wow, like not gonna lie, like I got kind of emotional when that happened because you think about everything that you've been through. Like I, took that car through college, like first dates, right? All of that stuff
It's
that,
that trust.
yeah, right. You're so dependent on sometimes these inanimate objects, you forget that these things are not, they're not real, right? We're forming these identities and these trusts with things instead of really putting that energy into ourselves and making us work. That's why now I can't drive this car. It's kind of like when you want to escape, you're kind of stuck with yourself. So you're kind of being forced to work through these things instead of just running away from problems and issues.
That lack of trust in ourselves and this path and this journey that we're all on in life is a trust with the knowing. Once you know, so it's a little bit confusing for some people. So it's like when you're showering, you don't have to trust that you're going to clean yourself. You're getting cleaned, right? And when you're meditating, you don't have to trust that you're manifesting and you're meditating on what you're supposed to transpire. You know what you're meditating on, right? So that's what I mean is like, we gotta, no matter what in the circumstances that come up in life, we just gotta know there's waves. We gotta know that life, there's energies, there's frequencies, it's dense. We gotta know that we're gonna find out something on the news. We gotta know that all this is there. And then when we react, it's like God's testing us. Aren't you a spiritual being? Aren't you one with God? Don't you know this shit? How aware are you? How enlightened of a being are you trying to be? You don't have to try. You have to know. Right? When you have that, then God can trust you. And then you can start trusting yourself. People around you can trust, energy can trust you. You know what I mean? So that's how we start to leverage energy and dark matter. It's beyond this whole thing that people call, oh, I know what sexual transformation means. I know what it is. I know what that is. But it's not just, what do you call it? Sexual transmutation, right? People say they know, but what is that? What does that even mean? Can someone describe what sexual transmutation means? Like, it's defined, right? People know what that means and how to do it. What does it mean? Does anyone here know? No? Okay, thanks for being honest. What about you, Anna?
I mean, I can take a guess of I feel like it's converting that sexual energy into something else and using it.
Okay.
Shifting the energy, right? Shifting it from something sexual to something more.
No, it's not sexual at all.
Okay, well then there we go. So
Okay.
then I totally don't know.
Okay, Michael?
That's what I was actually going to say.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Okay, so it's like everything that I'm teaching you guys and that you're actually doing, that's the transformation. That's the sexual transmutation, but it has nothing to do with sex. What the sexual part is the highest form of energy.
So it's just
It's
life energy, like essence energy.
It's the energy in general that is our life force. but everyone wants
Yeah.
to compare it to, it could be pain, it could be lust, it could be anger, it could be frustration. That energy, the life force that we have, if we remove the sex and remove the sexuality, then we know how to use it. Then can you imagine when we do it with our sexual partners? Then can you imagine when we're using sex, or when we're using sexuality or tantra, or when we're masturbating? Then we know our bodies, our minds, our spirits, and we know our energies better. We know forms of energy, right? So remove the sex, and just what you guys are practicing right now, that's what it is. So if you guys can understand that the energy you guys are transforming right now, that's the practice of transformation and transforming your energies. So get better at it. Go deeper into your emotions, go deeper into the thought. For example, like everything that's happening, whatever your guys' individual circumstance is, go deeper into those emotions and feelings. Don't, there's no bounds. It's like, don't just think, okay, I understand that it's happening for me, not to me, and I respect that. No, go deeper into the emotion. Go deeper. How can we take it into our bodies, into our soul? That's what I'm saying, Marvin, is like, that's your way to go deeper. And then Michael, with you, it's like with the emails, use this one little example to take it deeper. How do you take this emotion deeper? Don't just understand it and be like, I'm aware and I'm gonna understand that this is, you know, something I can control and be conscious aware of. No, there's more beyond that, right? So what can we do with it? What can we, does it make sense so far? And I'm gonna take it deeper. So then we take this feeling, this energy, everything that's happened, this awareness, this understanding, and then we take it deeper, deeper, deeper into our vulnerability section, into our chest, into our vulnerability, into our emotions. And then we sit in it. While we know the outcome, we know where we want to go. We already know. You don't have to ask, you don't have to have mistrust, you don't have to wonder, you don't have to hope, you don't have to think, you just know. And then so you know your outcome, whatever your positive outcome wants to look like, while you're transforming this energy. What are you going to do with this energy? What do you think you should do? What would you do with that energy, Michael? I would heal other areas in my life. I would heal my hair. Marvin, what would you do with that energy? What else is an area in your life that you can take that pain and suffering, instead of just working it with, oh, I know I'm going to get a place. Now I got to look for a place. Like that's what you did with the energy. But what I'm saying is what to do with the energy. What else should you do with that energy? Think about it for a sec and then give me the answer in a minute. Anna, what about you?
I mean, yeah, I think I would find other areas to use it.
Pray, meditate,
Yeah.
send those signals to your mom, send forgiveness. What, talk
Yeah.
about our forgiveness technique. We did a little quick forgiveness technique.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you need to do with that energy? So tell me what you did with that energy. What did you do?
That energy of just sending that signal out to her of like that love and forgiveness and understanding and compassion. And
What did the conversation look like? Break down the visualization, the guided visualization I did for you.
so the visualization, I mean, I was a child, and it was, you know, my mom is talking to me and it's reframing that whole scene. So she's talking to me and apologizing and really just changing the reality of what that scene, that situation really was. And, you know, me seeing her and forgiving her and loving her and telling her I understand her, and, you know, just really having that.
What else? What else did I tell you to do? To hear her do what?
To hear her
What did she say? Did she say what she said to you when you were 7 years old, or did I make you get her to say something else to the 7-year-old?
saying to the 7-year-old, like that she's really sorry, like a lot of the forgiveness.
We did it yesterday. We did it yesterday. You should remember.
I know we did it yesterday.
Yeah. What did you hear your mom say differently compared to how she treated you when you're 7?
I mean, just that, I'm beautiful, that she loves me, that,
Did you really do that, or are you just making this up right now?
I'm not making that up.
Okay, then why did you seem confused? I'm just trying to find out. So tell us, what did she really say? You seem like you don't know.
She was really saying, like that I'm beautiful, that she loves me, that I'm this special little girl, not just, what she projected onto me. Like,
okay.
Just like the purity.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So you took all the energy, everything. So what I did for you is we took this energy, everything you're feeling, all your whatever, and you used it in that. You gave it to her and you transformed it, and then you released it, you sent a signal. But then you could do it for other areas like your body, your mind, your health, your gut bacteria. You could do it for a sacrifice. You could say, okay, this whole 2 weeks, I'm not drinking wine or I'm not drinking alcohol. I've been doing this sacrifice thing I haven't drinking any alcohol, going from drinking every day, not in a drunkard way, but like I would drink a bottle of wine every day, but I was a mindful wine drinker. Like I would love my wine and I would drink, I'd eat steak and I'd have wine and I'd have a bottle of wine to myself almost every day. And I was thriving. But one sacrifice that I'm doing is I haven't drank. So I haven't drank and I've converted it to juicing. So now I juice every day in exchange for alcohol. And I'm putting all my energy into another form of transformation into my life on top of all the other realms that I'm teaching you guys to do. You guys are making me very proud because from 2 weeks to now, each thing that you guys are saying are transformations, your own transformations. It's kudos to you, your own pat on the backs. It's like you guys are doing the work, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, Malcolm, I think another interesting area. So I did towards the end of the week applied what you were talking about, going deeper, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm getting these emails. Let's go deeper, right? And I did that this week. And what I found, and I think it's something that everyone here will find, I became more confident in the work that I was doing. And
Right.
in kind of a spontaneous call with my manager, we had to discuss something. I was able to kind of become more, hey, listen, this is what's working, this is what's not working. And I found that he was very responsive to what was not working. Is like, actually, I'm having issues in that area too with the company.
Wow.
Why don't we work together to figure this out? And that is something that I was not expecting,
Bro,
So
bro, that's fucking sick. You came to me like the first time when I first met you, don't take this the wrong way, but you were focusing on confidence. You had zero confidence.
yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think the reason why I even mentioned this is because I think a lot of that power is right there. We just have to allow ourselves to kind of open the door for that to happen. Like
Yeah.
there was nothing special that happened in the communication with my manager. I just was able to bring something up at one time could not.
Now take the fine line. So this is how you guys do this to find the root cause of things, even if you help people in your life. Okay. I want you guys to take guided intelligence into your own life, embody it to help your daughters, help your moms, your dads, your relationships, help people in your own life using what you guys have embodied. So now where's the root cause? Now you take this lesson of what your realization has become and you go into this thought frequency and you say, okay, Michael, what did I do? What was my feelings, my emotions? What was the whole process? What was the curriculum I put myself through with the lessons and everything? And you take it all together and you realize what you did. and you take notes internally. This is how you create a lesson out of it. You create a teaching out of it, a guidance, a wisdom, an enlightenment out of this. If you write this down, you create like a lesson out of this. You can share this lesson to the next person that doesn't have confidence. So now you take that and you take it as, what did I do? How did I create confidence out of this? Oh, all I did was worked from within. I surrendered. I've been practicing mindfulness. I've been doing the deep work. I've been sitting in the pain and suffering. I've been sitting in the shame, but I haven't been shameful. I haven't been self-sabotaging. Just because you sit in the shame and the guilt, it doesn't make you fucking shameless. It doesn't make you less than. It doesn't make you that I don't have confidence. When I made you sit in your vulnerabilities, it could be easily slap you in the face, like, you ain't confident. It almost feels like that, but I never used those words. But I put you back in that bubble and allowed you to transform it yourself. And now look what came out of it is confidence. Right?
Yep,
And like,
absolutely.
same thing for Marvin. Same analogy, but for his specific fucking thing. I took him, and I know Anna, like I told you about Marvin, right? Like how we knew there was something. I knew, he knew, we all know. He knew it too. There's something, he just couldn't pin it. He said it in front of everybody. I even know it. I don't know what it is. That's what he kept saying, right? I'm doing all this. I don't know what it is. And then I put him in it. And then what did he do? He blossomed it himself. And then he shared it with us today. And he shared it with me when we did our one-on-one. And it happened at the end of our one-on-one, right, Marvin? Like, it just happened for you because you've been sitting in that fucking capsule.
It's weird.
It's
weird. It's like,
yeah,
just things you didn't expect to happen in your life. And you're like, hey, like, let's hire this life coach who I've never met before.
but look
Give
at
him a
this
chance,
fucking
and all of a
thing.
sudden here I am having epiphanies and
Yeah,
breakthroughs, and I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, but look at this.
Weird.
Yeah, you came to me, and the selling point, the sales, the persuasion, the power of manipulation, the power of persuasion, what was it? It was, yeah, I'll help you make more money. Yeah, I'll help you get there. Yeah, I'll help you release that. And you were all about, I want more money. I want to figure out how to do this manifestation thing, become more powerful and move forward. Have we once focused on that?
Like, briefly.
Right,
we
just to acknowledge it. But what have we been working on?
Just more inner work, really.
Exactly, my man. And that's true richness. That's richness in the soil, my man, in the mud, transforming the mud. That's true success. That's true success.
You know what's weird though is, like, just the last couple of days, I've had like just been like, I'm alone, but I've just been like super at peace with it.
Good. You said it in a good sentence. I'm alone, but I'm super at peace with it. Don't say I'm alone and I'm whatever, I'm okay with that. No, you said, and I'm peace with that. So now you're saying alone means peace.
Right.
Good.
Yeah,
Good,
no, it's actually it's nice. Like, I have like a different perspective on it than just being like, oh, I'm alone, this and that. Like, just...
Exactly. And Michael's going through the same thing, changing the way he reframes his sentences. Because I just saw him right now, and I can see all of y'all. And I saw you in thought right when Marvin said that. And I wanted to say what I just said for you to get that fine line, this lesson, the root cause. This is the root cause of everything, of everybody. Yeah. So Marvin, as you were saying, like, you basically, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off, but it's everything you're saying is beautiful that I just have to speak on what you're saying. It's like great insights.
No, I feel like just certain things are happening in my life. There was this girl who, like, I'm actually interested in, like, and she's just kind of going through some personal things, and her and I, like, got together last week, and had a really good chat and hung out, and like I just realized I just needed to give her space, like, and that's where we're at right now. She's going through some personal things, and I'm like, you know what, like, I'm here for you, I'm here to support you. At the end of the day, like, if you want space, like, I can respect that. I can respect your boundaries, I can respect your space. So like, like, it is what it is. So now I'm just kind of like, I'm letting it go and just continue to move forward and focusing on myself and my goals right now, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, good. But then see, there's this fine line, and I'll kind of work it with you in this, what you're saying. So we used a lot of words, right? Which is fine. So now go through this and just take this as an idea. So you said a lot of words, a lot of things, which can also, you think it's giving them what they want, but actions speak louder than words, right? So then what you did was you gave the words to her, and now maybe she might take that and respect it and acknowledge it and see and come back, and you might get what you want, or she might be pushed away more because you gave her too many words. But if your actions, if you didn't have to speak volumes in your words and you just showed your presence and in being distant and giving her that space with your embodiment, that woman would fucking come to you faster if it was the right one. But I'm not saying do it with this girl, don't do this energy work with her. I'm saying be mindful that sometimes you don't have to speak so much about what I taught you to do by being present, being aware, being understanding, letting someone be heard, seen, and felt. If we say too much of it, sometimes it pushes people away. Right? Like it for me, for
Right.
example, with my ex, if I start saying, I miss you, I love you, I care about you, and I'm doing all the things to hear, see, and feel everything that they ever wanted, but that's exactly what's distancing her now. Oh, I'm
Right.
good. They might say I'm good. Actually, I'm not attracted. Actually, I'm done and I'm moving forward. Right. So you might get that. And then what are you going to do with that lesson? What are you going to do with that energy? Are you really going to be hurt, or are you going to hurt? Are you going to look at it like, oh, Malcolm told me to do this and I did it, but she rejected me. So that's why I'm talking right now. I'm saying, hey, that's going to be a lesson for you, a test to sit in, be okay with, and be like, okay, I understand this. This is great. This is what I said to her. I can accept that. I could be cool with that. Now, with the next one, what am I going to do? I'm going to show it with my energy. I'm not going to show it with my words. And then play with the next test. Right? Does that make sense? A little bit?
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. I was kind of like already doing those actions before having had that conversation with her, because I kind of felt the distance. So I was already doing those actions, and I think like the conversation just brought more clarity to the situation. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to continue giving you space, like regardless. Like now,
and you're doing the work.
Like now that I have that clarity, it's all good.
You're smart. You've already been doing this. That's why I know that. Every time it's like you're doing the work. I know how much work you're doing internally and you're aware of these things. I'm just giving you nuggets and tidbits and stuff to add to what you're already doing. So that's perfect. All right. Anything else, Anna? You want to share anything? Anything coming to you? I know in silence, in breaks, a lot of things come up. So
I know. So I think that something super unexpected that I've really been experiencing is change in my physical body, especially dancing. It's like years of dance training without a single step, because the energy is different. It's like I have a different awareness and I move completely differently because there's not the control. It's like, ooh, realizing so much like deeper tension and letting go of that control and like allowing myself to just be.
Hold on one sec. Remember the lesson, the root cause, the understanding, the awareness. Now take us back 4 weeks ago to what you wanted, what you needed, and what was your tears, and what was your vulnerability, and what was your longing for 4 weeks ago. So let's forget about what you just said now, and now take us back 4 weeks ago. What were you saying 4 weeks ago to me? Even like 5 weeks ago.
Oh, what was I even saying? That seems like forever ago.
You want me to remind you, or do you know?
Go ahead and remind me, because there's like so much in my head.
I just want to dance. I just want to be free. I
Yeah.
feel unauthentic. I don't feel genuine. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel control and they're holding me back. And I don't feel like I'm dancing authentically. I feel like fraudulent. I feel,
Yeah.
you kept saying, I feel like this and I'm not enough. And I don't know with my dance and what's going to happen. What did you just say? Now come back to today and
Yeah.
what's happening for you right now?
Yeah, it's like massive freedom and letting go and just being. Like
Wow.
it's like every time we have like a session and I
Holy
go to
shit.
teach ballet, I'm like, shit, I should buy some point shoes again. Because I just feel like I could just be up there forever and
And
like
guys, this is
whatever.
all you. This is all God and your guys' connection to source in your own way. This is your guys' own spiritual journey. And look at what's happening with you guys. It's just from you guys.
Yeah, well, just and it shows like energy is really everything. Like if you really want to change something in the physical world, it's like you have to change the energy.
Yeah. That's amazing. That is amazing. But it's coming from reflection, realization, going through this mud, transforming that mud. And that mud is that what the world throws out there. People, all these people throw what sexual transmutation. Oh, it's so big, right? You want to buy the program? $25,000? Go ahead. But it's simpler than that, guys. That's what this is all about. It's simpler than this magic word or this key or this master key or the secret to the secret. You guys are all receiving many, many different formations of the secret or the key to what you guys need, right? Everyone, they think they need to seek, right? But what this teaches you guys is it's all you. It's all within you already. Everything you wanted, needed, required, expected, hoped for, longed for, desired is already yours. It's your birthright. Are you guys recognizing it's your birthright now? It's
Yeah,
your, I didn't say
feel
birthright now. It's your birthright now.
Yeah, I feel like I've always known it, but now you allowed me to get out of my own way so that I can just receive it.
Yeah, but you know, the credit goes to you because you're doing the work and you're a good listener. You guys are listening, you're engaged. It's like a teacher could teach so much, but all the students, what the fuck did they do? Do they take the teacher's lessons? No, and it doesn't matter how good the fucking teacher is. But you guys are doing the work, right? So you guys are the teachers, your own teachers, right? You guys are your own learners. You guys are discovering this yourself. That's the beauty in this. It's not someone else did it for you. I didn't do it for you. You guys are creating it just with, and remember, I didn't think of this. I didn't make it up. It came from guided intelligence. Look, it's something that came. It's a guidance. It's an intelligence out there. There's an intelligence that's coming to you guys when you guys guide yourself through this beautiful intelligence that all the teachers talk about. There's this intelligence out there. What's this intelligence? What are these algorithms? We can quantify our experience even faster once you're in tune. So now coming from a place of this realization, this growth, can you imagine next week and the second week and the third, what more we can focus on? Hey, do you want to publish a book, by the way, Marvin? Do you want to create your own masterclass about what you do, like about mortgage broker? Do you want to sell that? Well, that could be our next coaching sessions. Like what I'm doing with Anna, we're creating, what are we doing on the side? We're creating something else with your business, right? Right. But Michael came in a little bit late, but we're working on this, everything you guys been doing for weeks. And then when he goes through his, then we can start focusing on something else. But the reason why I don't focus on the other things is until we get the progress and I can trust and you guys can trust before we move ahead. You know, we don't need to move ahead and be like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. You know, this is the greatness. This is where all the fruits of the labor You know, you reap what you sow. And you guys are fucking sewing quilts out there. You guys are doing crazy shit. You guys are planting seeds. And I hope after today's session, what other seeds are planted? In your mind, visualize planting all the seeds. What seeds are you planting right now? And then you stay in the mud and fertilize that shit. And don't worry about the trust and all that shit. Just know you've planted the seed, you placed the order. The universe already has the fucking order. It's just processing. Shipping and handling is happening. Get the fuck out of the way. Right?
I
Yeah.
think what's so cool about becoming more consciously aware of different things is you start to become a little bit more aware of the tests that the universe is kind of capable at throwing you at.
Yeah.
Because you know, I think even growing up in a Christian household, you know, we're taught that, you know, the devil knows your weaknesses, right? So those are the tests that'll get thrown at you. And Marvin, you know, I understand sometimes it happens to me too, right? We'll meet a girl and something happens where it doesn't work out. And before you know it, a week goes by and we're like in the same mindset that we were like 6 months ago. And because we start questioning, like, was this me? What, you know, why is this not working out? What could have been better? What could I have done better? What could I have said? What did she say? What did she mean by what? You just have all of these things going through your
Can I
head.
jump in on that? Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. We all do it. We
Yep.
all do it.
Yep.
Yeah. It's okay. It's all good. We're pure. We're doing our work. Okay, go ahead.
Right. No, and that's exactly what I was saying is once you become consciously aware of these things that are happening is what I notice is I'm starting to look back, right, in different areas and I'm like, okay, why is this stuff reoccurring? How do we break this chain? It's because we keep getting the same tests from not being consciously aware. We have to really like ground ourselves in who we are is what I'm learning, right? And learning how to better ourselves, and that way we attract and we resist the weaknesses that, you know, the devil has given to us in the past. So
You know what's crazy? The devil is not out there. You are the devil. You can create the devil.
absolutely.
And you know that, right? Based
Yep.
off of conjuring up devils and ghosts and frequencies and sensations. Anyone can do it depending on how deep and how low we go. Anyone can do it. You know, we got to be mindful. Everything you just said, Michael, you're doing the work. Being mindful of how powerful you are, right? Because that devil can happen. And the devil in everyone's life is different. The devil in Anna's life, you know exactly what the devil is in your life and what it feels like and how low it could go and emotionally draining and sucking and who comes into your life and these men that want to suck your soul and your spirit and they just want to fucking sleep with you and it's a waste of energy and trust. And that's why trust is a big one here. Marvin, you know your devil too. You know, and I'm really aware and mindful of mine as well, and that's why I make it an onus, an oath, and a dedication and a sacrifice to have something playing here, and then on my TV, a frequency is playing when I wake up. My conscious awareness is the first thing to alert me to program my subconscious mind into my consciousness becomes one. And then I'm playing something right away. I'm sending intentions out and I walk to the washroom with my phone. Something's playing automatically. I put it on the counter. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm doing my mirror talk. Then if I have to shower, I put it on my shower on the bathtub and I get in the shower and I'm meditating, cleansing. And then when I'm making juice or juicing, then I have something else playing. And then I have a motivational thing because I know the devil. That's why. And as soon as I stop, the devil wants to be like, ha 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 ha. You know what I mean? So don't stop working on yourself. Don't stop progressing. Don't stop developing. Don't stop thinking of different areas. Don't stop here. Don't wait for Malcolm to be like, hey, let's focus on this. Hey, I feel a block. There's something else going on here, Anna. I feel something. Marvin, I know there's something else. I just can't pin it. I know what it is. Michael, I know what it is. I will work through that. If you guys want to, just allow me to just kind of help you guys discover it. We can keep doing that, but I'm giving you guys the power back. Do it for yourselves. You guys know what else you should be working on. What else you can be working on. There could be a thought. And then in that thought, you could work on something. There could be an emotion. There could be something in your body. It could be your body image. Right? It could be clothing. It could be hoarding. It could be like collecting things. You know, I have a garbage bag full of clothes, hoodies, sweaters, 200. It's like $1,000 worth of clothes there. I have my LRG. Remember back in the day, that brand, that cool hip hop LRG. I'm getting rid of all that. My Guess stuff. Hugo Boss, like a $235 jacket that's brand new. Maybe I'll give it to one of you guys, but I'm gonna go out and give it to the homeless. I'm gonna go and give it out to the homeless. Unless Mark, you live in Calgary. I mean, it's a large. Do you want to see if it fits you? I mean, I'll give it to you for free. You know, but it's a Hugo Boss. Maybe you might need an extra large. I don't know. It's a large. I don't know if you fit into a large.
I fit into a large.
Yeah, it's Hugo Boss. If you like Hugo Boss, you can have
I
it.
like Hugo Boss.
Yeah, I'll give it to you, man. It's yours. You can have it, man. I also have a beautiful winter jacket that's a puffy, like one of those, you know, the Michelin style, the puffy, like big jackets. And you could wear that without zipping it up. I'll give that to you because I don't plan to become that big because for me, I'm good. I'm content being a good fit. I want to be more rounded. I know my body image. I went from being 220 pounds, not the ideal self, but if I started buffing out and working out and toning out, I would have had that body image, right? I would have been this. I would have looked like Marvin. If I worked out at that weight to work out, I would have had Marvin's sculpture. That's what it would have been like. But I didn't do all that. I kind of went skinny, and then I worked my way back to being medium. So I'm like regrowing the mass, right? And it's not from fat. So Marvin, tell me, like from muscle, you know more about bodybuilding, right, than I do. So just toned from what I am now, do I need to consume a lot of fat to build muscle, or could I just work out and build muscle, or will I keep eating my muscle away if I work out too much and I fast too much? What will happen to my muscle since I don't have too much fat?
It has everything to do with how much calories you eat and like how much protein you intake. Like it all depends on timing of things too. Like if you're eating when around a workout, you're eating, like there's more to it than just a simple answer.
We can have a consult separately. I'd love for you to guide me on that. Okay, cool. But yeah, so you know, what else is coming up for you guys? Is anything else coming up? You guys, I'm here. Leverage it, utilize it, ask me questions. Like, are you understanding that fine line, Michael, that I'm saying? Like, pay attention to this lesson you've discovered and what you did to answer the phone or answer emails differently and show up with confidence. Where's the teaching in that? Now, once you understand the teaching, that embody that, create it, make it more powerful, channel it more. Imagine how much more you can become. And if you guys fall back, think of it this way. When I fall down, right? Giants can fall down. I don't look at somebody at how big they are. I look at that as I'm like, they're gonna fall down fucking hard. So in my mind, it's like I'm always chasing myself. I'm always becoming better. I don't ever compare myself to anybody else. It doesn't phase me. My level of confidence is beyond them, and they don't even know because they're looking at my level of confidence, and I know they are. And that's what's making them lose, and that's what's making me win. Because I'm only challenging myself to get better while they're looking at me. Start looking at yourself, you know? So when you start looking at yourself in the areas make it better, enhance it more? How can you enhance this confidence more, Michael? Marvin, how can you enhance this detachment, surrender, and contentment more? Right?
That's what I was actually going to ask you just now. Like,
Yeah.
how do you just let go and trust in the universe more?
You don't trust, you know. You
How
go
do you, how
you
do
go
you,
in.
how do you know more?
Okay.
Yeah.
So the trust, good. See, so this is how I work best, right? Um, so the trust, you make the trust almost obsolete. You turn the trust into work. So the work that you're doing, you're now converting the trust into the work. And then you're allowing the unknown to work its magic. When you do the unknown and you're doing everything that it takes, the sacrifice, the dedication, the discipline, the letting go, the surrendering more, then what comes out externally, the circumstance, the outcome, that's the knowing. Because the knowing is what you're doing, the hard work. And then when you get the result, you're like, and you don't have to say, I know it, I knew it. No, that's when that's when the trust comes. Do you see what I'm saying? That's when the trust comes. It's like it came, it's like, wow, I have so much trust in the universe. But you didn't have to say that it's trust up front. You didn't have to feel that it's something up front that I'm doing in exchange for something. It's like you're just doing the knowing, and you know it's what you're doing. And then when it comes, it takes practice. It takes practice, more of doing, more of you doing this lifestyle, more of everything you've learned through this time with us, with me. Just continue doing this for a while. The more you continue doing this, then you'll start picking up on the outcomes, and you'll start noticing them as trust and knowings. And you won't have to figure out anything anymore. You're living now. You're just going with the flow. Then you embody flow. Then you start embodying trust and knowing and receiving and being a great receiver and a great giver. The giver part of you is the work that you're supposed to be doing. And you know what the work is, right? You know what your work is and all the internal stuff you're supposed to do, and the releasing and the ideas and the techniques and everything, and the angel numbers 1111 just showed up, and then trusting. And those are the signs. That was our sign for all of us, is this 1111 that just showed up. Is what I'm saying is that work. It's that trust in the work, trust in the process, and know that the process is the trust.
I think also it's a lot about, and what I've learned from working with you, Malcolm, it's a lot about also letting go what you thought was supposed to be the answer, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
what I had always thought was the answer, was getting more degrees, right? That'll build up my confidence if I know more, understand more. And right now I'm getting a master's in systems engineering, right? And it's difficult, and I'm pummeling through, but it has not made me more confident in myself
Yeah.
than I had before I started this a year ago.
Yeah.
So, started the program. So it's a lot about what is really the root cause of these things. And I think
Yeah.
everyone has that. It's the same reason why people, I think from learning from Malcolm and doing this work on ourselves, we won't end up hitting like midlife crisis like a lot of people do, because
Right.
a
And
lot of
yeah.
a lot of the midlife crisis, and this is what I feel like, I'm one of those people. If I don't work on this, I'm going to end up being one of those people, right?
Right.
If I don't get this down, because
Right.
you start looking back and you're like, okay, I did all this stuff I thought was supposed to get me to XYZ,
Right.
but that's not what is,
Yeah.
getting you there.
Right.
And it's I thought like, oh, people will like me more if I'm more intelligent, I'll be respected more. And if anything, you just end up getting more stress on yourself. You start forgetting to take care of yourself because you're so stuck doing homework all the time. And you're like, okay, so now what's the next thing? You get your master's, and then what? You get a PhD? Like none of that. You start kind of building upon
Yeah,
all of these things you thought was supposed to make you, happy, confident, whatever.
exactly.
But
Dude,
yeah,
Yeah.
I love how you jumped in and you did that, because that's what Marvin needed, is because Marvin's very smart, very analytical. He needs something tangible to hook onto, and then he will do the transformation. And that's how he changes, right? Is he needs to grasp that idea. And I think that's what it is Marvin, you felt like, what's next? What's that something else I can do? What else can I grow in? What else can I learn? But it's more of releasing more of this stuff, right?
Right. I guess I always felt like it was like, oh, like do another meditation to manifest more, like, get closer to your manifestation, like collapse time and space between your manifestation by meditating and, manifesting in your manifestation. The more often you do it, the bringing you closer to your bringing.
You
It's
see
like,
how time is going further, because
Yeah.
the collapsing time portion in this is this whole teaching I'm teaching right now, is the pain and suffering, sitting in that, manifesting in, being in what we're going through, transforming what we're going through, not thinking it's outside of us. It's something that I'll feel better when. I'll feel better when I achieve this, when I get this, when I get the confidence, or when I get the money, or when I get that right relationship. I'll feel better. Then I'll become this person when that comes. No, we're doing the work now, so that when that comes, then we have the power to do more. Otherwise, when that thing comes, we'll feel weaker and we won't have power to do anything more, because now we have more to deal with. Right? You don't want to be like, yeah, Anna, we were talking about this yesterday, that
Mhm.
what was it that we were talking about? I just got something clicked in when Michael started saying
Well, I
something.
think we were talking about age, because it's like, okay, as a dancer, it's like, okay, for me, I was told at 21, it's like, okay, you better do this now, because, or at 17, actually, it's like, oh, it's too late. You didn't start when you were 2. It's like, really? Then at 21, it's like, oh, this is your prime. Then at 27, it's like, okay, you can't like audition anymore. And it's like, how much did I let that influence me? And then just, try different things of like, make yourself feel better. And it's like, whatever, just do it now. This age thing is just bullshit. Like, it's
Right,
such a,
that's what it was. Just do it now.
it's such a lie. It's like, just do it now. It doesn't matter.
social media doesn't help with that, because
Yeah.
social media influences you to think that everyone should be a multi-billionaire by like 25.
Well, I
worse.
have students that I teach that, they see these images, most of which are photoshopped, and they have this image of, that's how they're supposed to be. And it's
They're
like,
not happy. They're
they're
depressed.
not.
They're not doing what you guys are doing. Those fucking
Exactly.
those people, and I'm glad I caught myself because I was gonna say something, but those people, they are the most non-influential. If you meet them and you want influence from them, they don't even know how to give you fucking influence.
Yeah.
So they're not influencers. They're only influencing people who are insecure.
Yeah.
What is that? That they're channeling more insecurity. That's
They
all they're
are.
embodying. They're creating more of what they're not. So then
Yeah.
what happens? They're at a certain level, but really, some of the most successful people, unfortunately, they're committing suicide. They're lost. You think they're so happy and influential, but they're missing out because they're pleasing everything outside themselves. And this is why I've made it an oath. This is an oath, guys, for you guys. I've dedicated myself. I want you guys to do the same. Dedicate yourself, make an oath, because you'll find out when you're sitting up there, when you're standing up there, and it's over, what's going to happen? Like, think about it for a second. Marvin, Anna, Michael, look down for a second at your life. Look down at your life and realize that this, what you're doing now, smile down on it, because this is what's important. Trust in that. Okay. Look at your future self now and be like, wow, I'm so thankful and glad and blessed now that I am doing the work, the internal dialogue, the fixing, the tweaking, the adjusting on my personality, my character, my identity, my emotions, my thoughts, my feelings. I appreciate you so much, my body, you know, that I'm cleansing, I'm showering right now, and I'm cleansing off all of the insecurity about what? Be specific. Be specific. Talk to your cells, talk to your body, talk to your brain cells, talk to your mind, send new signals. Say, and for this, I'm sending new signals to my left brain, my right brain. All these doctors and scientists that I've studied, this is what I've dedicated for 10 years. They put all these probes, and then they go on a TED Talk or they go on TV and they start teaching about their teaching. But this is the teaching that's coming right now, is you do all of that by now you go into your cells and you say, and for this, I'm wiring and firing new neurons and new electrons. So you don't have to listen to the specific, who the heck is bugging me right now? Okay. So, I have 2 kids. They do the same thing. It's crazy. But anyways, okay. So again, it's okay. Shh, Malcolm, relax. See, this is what I do. And I like something comes up here and it's like, what do I need to do in this moment? It's okay. Like it's a constant daily practice, but I know I need to do so much. And it's not that someone's fixed. It's not that someone's fixed. It's not that that person's a guru and they're fixed. They're probably doing the most work. That's why they're living out where they're living. They have demons, right? Imagine you put them in your life. They switch places with you. Whew, they're going to go mental, right? So you guys are doing great. Be blessed with what you're doing, because don't look outside yourself. But what was I saying? Somebody help me out. So I was saying something before.
Firing and firing neurons.
Yeah. And you're sending all these electrons, and that's what our cells need to hear. That's what our body needs to hear and know and trust, because it's a mind, body, spirit connection. Instead of saying, I work with the mind, body, spirit, there's a lot of coaches and hypnotherapists and psychics that talk the talk, but they're not doing it themselves. They can't even teach it because they're not doing it themselves. You know what I mean? Once we do it ourselves and we embody it, then we can teach it. And there's not one specific teacher. There's multiple, there's hundreds, there's thousands of teachers. A child is our teacher. A homeless person is our teacher, right? You are your own teacher. Your body, your emotions, everything you're going through is a teacher. Like Michael's and Marvin and all you guys are saying, is this universal teacher is our teacher. But then what do we do with all of it? Then we take it in and we say, you know, I look at myself differently. You know, I'm growing my hair. You know, I'm attracting these lessons with women. So then the right one comes. And right now I'm going through a practice of detachment. So one's coming and they're leaving. One's coming and they're leaving. But I'm not getting emotionally attached. I'm not getting strung on. I'm not even having sex. Wow. There's more good coming. There's a more attractive one. Wow. There's a more healthier one. Wow. There's a more mindful one. Oh my gosh. Universe is just showing you, displaying the abundance, Marvin. Even for me, I went on a few dates myself, and it's like better. But what do? We say, we conform. We're like, oh, okay, that's enough. That's good enough. Anna, okay, this dance, this instructor, this feeling is good enough. Now, how do you quantum jump? Now you take everything, now you quantum jump. You go to a major dance event, and then you sign up as number one. You are the best. They chose you already before they signed you up. You're the one. and you go up with that energy, and then you become that #1 dancer in your country, in your city. That's how you go, you do it. You jump into the unknown, you jump into the vulnerability. Marvin, how do you jump? Because you're doing the work. You don't have to bend reality in a meditation. You bend reality by you take that leap into the next, whatever your next thing is. Maybe you go and you go to a modeling event because you've attracted models in the past, right? Maybe you go to a modeling event and you know it's the most healthiest, mindful, respectful, educated model is going to walk your path. Right? But you had to go to the modeling event to get it. Right? Michael, I'm sure you're thinking like, what can I do? Right? Because you've done lots of achievements and you've been chosen and selected. What's your next selection in life? Right? What could it be? Plant the seed, and then take your pain and suffering, meditate, do all the work that you're doing right now. And that's your knowing. That's your knowing. And the outcome is I know. That's what I'm doing this for. And then the trust starts coming. Just keep enjoying life. Don't chase, don't worry, relax, be mindful, be present, appreciate more, be content more, and just keep doing the work that you guys are already doing. It's just a daily ritual. It's a habitual ritual. The first thing that you do before you're conscious aware, what do? Most people wake up, they turn around, they unplug their phone from the charger because it's at 100% for the last 8 hours, and then they fucking look at their meditation, or no, not meditation, their notifications, right? But what could we do in conjunction with that? Right? Are you guys having a meditation throughout the sleep while you're waking up? It's still playing. Is that what you guys are doing?
Yep.
Good. Amazing. Yeah, just keep it up. And if you guys want more specifics, just ask more specific questions and I can give more, right? Just, I don't know, I'm just talking out of thin air right now, but if you guys want to know something, just ask. I know you guys might have to get off here in the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you have any last minute statements or questions, go ahead. And now I can check my notification. Go ahead. You're good?
I'm good.
Okay, good. But you're good with this call? You understand?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay. Michael, any questions?
No, I think this was a really nice conversation we had today. It's really nice getting to see everyone else's, success and manifestations and plans. It's really cool to see that self-growth in other people as you go through it yourself.
Absolutely, it is. Anna?
I must say I like Anna's analogy of the crescendo in music. I would like, it can't just all be a climax. It's like you had to have those highs and lows to appreciate the highs.
Yeah. And it's, that music, and it's like really learning, like ultimately it's like, okay, I say dance. And it's like, well, why in the world do I want to dance? And it's ultimately like to feel, to express, and to really master my own energy, to understand it and to master it and manipulate it. It's like, super interesting. I think because I had that question before, and it's like that, there's that lower level of like, there's the vanity, there's the, the physicality, all of that. But ultimately it's like mastering one's own energy is like, I can feel it coming more and more and more. It's a really good feeling.
Does that give you like a knowing that things are just going to be like better for you in the future? Almost.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in the past I used to be like, okay, it's that balance of like, okay, I have to be in the present, but it's like I have to be more action oriented in the present, no matter what I'm feeling, but still have the knowing of like, I feel like it's on a projected screen in front of me. Like, okay, yep, it's there. It's like you're climbing a mountain You still have to climb, but you're still like, yep, the top is right there. Like, I know I'm going to get there. It's a little bit of work, but you have to keep moving. So
Yeah. Yeah. You helped me last week to get over a hump I was going through. I wasn't doing self-care properly, right? And then I opened up to you. I became vulnerable. I'm like, and you pushed me and you motivated me and you excited me and you tested me to go rock climbing and go to speeders and go to do more things. And I'm like, doing it. I was doing it. I went, I booked it, and I went, and it felt so liberating. It was like I got to become friends with my spirit differently. Yeah, I'm doing the things that I'm doing, but am I going out there and adventuring life like Anna is? She's going to the beach. She's doing what, hot air balloon.
I took myself on a hot air balloon ride. I found my next, because you cross something off your list of what you want to do, you got to add something back on. So the next thing I want to do, maybe next year, is you can do a ride along in an F-14. So I think that's amazing.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I researched it. I can go to Tampa because there's MacDill Air Force Base. So yeah.
Are you on the Space Coast or near the Space Coast?
I am right smack in the center. I'm in Ocala. So
okay.
I'm equidistant to both.
Okay, awesome. That's a cool Florida is a great state, and you mentioned Oregon too. I've been to Oregon twice and I've been to Florida several times. There's so many aerospace things. Of course, being in the space industry, I love all the opportunities in Florida to get to do stuff like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. So everybody's learning their own mind, body, spirit connection and how to rewire their subconscious mind in their own way. Like for me, I had to rewire mine through Anna. Anna had to teach me something. And I'm like, yeah, I should just step out of my comfort zone of being comfortable and be comfortable being uncomfortable to treat myself, be not afraid of what people think of me while being alone, right? And it wasn't a fear. I went out. I was confident. I was climbing, and people are telling me, "Have you been here before?" And I'm like, "No, it's my first time." They're like, "That's an expert one you did right now." I'm like, "No. What does C1? Rock climbing. There's like C1, C2, C3, C4. I was doing C6, one under C7, and I was leaping and I climbed and I was like doing this, and people were." I knew, but they were looking and stuff. And I'm like, what are they looking at? This one felt easy to me. And it was just, I appreciate that, to push me. Sometimes people need a push. Yeah. Even me. So.
Yeah. And I think sometimes being single, it's like, well, how do I be with myself? It's like, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, people look at me and they're like, wait, you're not married? Like, wait, you don't have kids? Like, no, I don't. And that's okay.
It's okay.
Whatever, I'm going to have it in the future. I'm not worried about it. But even going on the hot air balloon ride, right? There's 6 people. There's 2 couples, the pilot and me. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're doing this by yourself. And it kind of breaks their brain a little bit because they don't know whether I need pity, whether they're like, oh my gosh, you have so much courage to do this by yourself. I'm like, what? I wanted to do it. I'm going to go do it.
Right. I think it's beautiful. I think it's amazing. And
giving ourselves permission to be ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, guys, I love these calls. I'll see you guys next week, and hopefully it keeps growing. I think we can invite Molly and Robert to the next one, or even Mitchell, right? So, start reaching out. And yeah, I'll see you guys. If you guys have an agenda, what you guys want to talk about, any realizations, well, I'll chat with you guys one-on-one anyways. And we'll go from there. Okay?
Good.
All right, sounds good.
Great.
Thank you guys.
All right, guys.
Everyone.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Ciao.